Welcome to the Big Play Cleveland Show. I'm Gabriella Cruz alongside Chris McNeil, Nick Padone. We got plenty of Cleveland sports talk to get into today, guys. But how was your weekend?
Very good weekend. It's nice to get back to the summer weather out there. A little bit hot, but that's good for the pool. So I enjoyed being out there with the kiddos and starting my barbecue, getting ready for the 4th here this week.
I love it. Yeah, you take this kind of weather over what we had a couple of months ago anytime. So no complaints here, guys.
Well, we will get into it with our Cleveland headlines. We've got a very cool guest coming up. Stay tuned with us. But we can chat just briefly here, guys, about, our Guardians aren't in the place that we really want them right now. But do we think that all is lost at this point in the season?
I'd like to see some of the young guys come up at this point. I am done with the team as it exists right now. I am ready to see that infusion of young guys and really seeing what they can do at the big league level. So I have given up hope, I think, officially on this season, but look at it as a developmental thing for the Guardians going forward.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close to all hope being lost, and they should get it. DeLauder, Kafis, Brito, all up here at some point in the next month and bring on the youth movement, see what we could do with this ball club next year.
Nick, the Guardians might not be coming back, but the WNBA is, Big announcement this week. The Cleveland, potentially Rockers, back here in Cleveland, so that'll be fun. Do you remember the Rockers? Probably not.
I do.
You do?
Don't really remember
I was a rocker for
that.
Halloween.
No, but obviously it's incredible that they're back. It's incredible that WNBA has had so much success over the last couple of years that they're able to be in a place to expand, to bring a great sports town like Cleveland, a WNBA team. I know Cleveland's going to get up for this, and it's exciting that they're going to be back.
2028, we're the first of the new 3 expansion teams for the WNBA.
Chris, that's Caitlin Clark free agency year as well, too. Just saying.
I'm really hoping they keep the name also, the Rockers.
Keep the Rockers.
They haven't officially confirmed anything about the name, but man, the nostalgia associated with it, I really loved the colors. I know, Nick, you and I were talking about it. Their marketing and color scheme and jerseys were really cool, and I do remember, I hope I still have some stuff. I'd have to look in the attic, but I remember being really stoked as a kid. I went to basketball camps. They gave out like the colorful basketballs, the practice jerseys. I had all the things, and I went as a rocker for Halloween. So I'd like to see that for other women in the land, and it's just an exciting revelation altogether. So we're looking forward to that.
I'm usually against the guitars, but in this case, they are the OG. They really used it first. Yeah. So go with the Rockers.
So we give them a pass.
Yep.
We'll get a little bit more into it in our Cleveland headlines, but how about just initial reactions about the Cavs, trading for Lonzo Ball? We're going to lose Isaac Okoro now, and the re-signing of Sam Merrill.
Yeah, I think it's a sign that this team is really focused on the playoffs. Isaac Okoro is nice during the regular season, good defender. He can keep games close or keep a lead for us, but you get to the playoffs, you want to see a little bit more offensive production. I think Lonzo Ball is going to be good for us as long as he can stay healthy, Nick.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing. The physical is going to be the most anticipated physical that they've had in quite some time there, the Cleveland Clinic courts in Independence. Lonzo Ball has had his career certainly challenged by injuries. I think one-to-one, he's as good of a defender as Isaac Okoro. Isaac's downfall was on the offensive side of the basketball. He was just a black hole. He had nothing to give, and Lonzo Ball is certainly an upgrade from Isaac Okoro. So a welcome trade for the Cavs this weekend.
Darius Garland's going to have to slide over. He's going to be the one who's going to have to dance exclusively now with Moondog before games. So sorry about that. Isaac, it was fun. It was a good ride with him. He had a lot of energy, and he brought a lot of charisma to the team, but I think it's time to move on.
Another guy with some energy and charisma here in Cleveland, Stephen Kwan. For those of you who don't know, as we wrap up Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, he put on his very first Check on Your Mate tournament, and it was all in the name of, raising awareness for especially kids to be able to open up about mental health. And, his love for chess brought the whole team together. They did a little tournament at Historic League Park last week or over the weekend, so we wanted to roll a little package from Stephen Kwan.
Awesome. Obviously, we're raising great money for some great organizations. It's also my first tournament, so I'm a little nervous doing all this, but this is awesome. Just seeing all the people congregate in one area, getting to use Historical League Park, and just seeing Cleveland come together. This is super exciting. I'm super humbled and grateful that everybody can show up. I'm hoping to keep it rolling. Yeah, no, I'm thankful for them. I know they're jet lagged. That might be his third coffee right now, but they were able to show up. I'm super grateful for them, obviously as teammates, but also just friends as well. So thankful we could pull this off. It's going okay. It's going okay. I'm staying afloat, playing some good chess. Started off pretty tough, but we're chugging along. Like I said, the tournament format's really different, very serious, which I wasn't used to. So it's been fun so far.
I thought it was really interesting because Stephen pointed out that, when it comes to mental health, chess can be a very mental game. And, if you lose a piece, you've got to be able to react and be positive and keep that sense of resilience, which is not too different than the game of baseball. I know that correlation or comparison has been made before. But I love that he's taking something he's genuinely interested in, getting his teammates involved, getting the community involved, and doing it for a good cause. With that, we're going to kick off our Cleveland sports headlines brought to you by our friends at Fairway Ford.
Fairway Ford offers complete customization for any vehicle on the lot with their Fairway Black Label line. The series features custom upgrades like premium wheel and tire packages, a wide variety of level or lift kits, performance enhancements, and fully customized interior options. And every Fairway Black Label truck comes with a Rhino spray-in bed liner. Whether you're looking for an aggressive off-road stance, a bold street presence, or a one-of-a-kind build, Fairway Black Label delivers. As a bonus, many of these upgrades can be financed for as little as 0% APR, depending upon the vehicle line. You dream it, they can build it. Visit fairwayfordohio.com to explore their current Black Label inventory or give them a call to start designing yours today.
All right, gang. Well, we did talk about the trade for Lonzo Ball and, your initial reactions to it. Do we think this is a big upgrade? Like, how will this help us in the playoffs?
I think it could be a nice upgrade for us, depending upon, once again, if Lonzo Ball can stay healthy. I think offensively, he gives you more than what you had out of Okoro. It'll be interesting to see how the team comes together. Once again, whenever you shuffle pieces, we like the chemistry on this team last year. It'll be interesting to see if we can continue that going into next year.
Little bit of an identity flip with this trade, truly. One big knock on the Cavs come playoff time. They were too small. They were too soft. Lonzo Ball, big guard, physically imposing guard, physical defender as well. So a big time identity shift bringing him into Cleveland. And I think it is an upgrade come playoff time because Lonzo Ball is kind of lineup proof in the way that he could fit on the court with DG at the same time or Donovan at the same time. He also helps you if you lose Ty Jerome to free agency coming up. So Lonzo is a welcomed addition. And Chris, we're going to keep saying it all off season long. The health is going to be the number one thing here.
You mentioned it right there. What does Ty Jerome's future maybe look like here in Cleveland or not in Cleveland?
Bleak.
I think the big signing with Sam Merrill, he'll be in Cleveland, 4-year, $38 million deal. And so I think that, that kind of paints the picture for Ty Jerome. There's not enough room.
Yeah, handwriting's on the wall here. I think they're bracing for Ty Jerome to depart. I'm sure they have a number in mind that they would welcome Ty Jerome back for, but obviously unrestricted free agent, you're going to let him test the market, and if he goes out there and makes a good bit of money, good on Ty Jerome. I mean, he meant a ton to the Cavs. He should have probably been the sixth man of the year, so if he goes out there and gets paid, nobody could really be that upset about it. And the Cavs have a really good replacement in Lonzo Ball.
And you mentioned Sam Merrill did get paid. Little bit of a streaky shooter for us. What I'm looking for out of Sam Merrill now that he's signed that new 4-year deal is more consistency. I want to see him knocking down those threes with consistency out there. And I think that could be a nice piece for us moving forward if he's able to do that.
I guess I'm curious your guys' thoughts on why wasn't it Ty Jerome?
Well, that's a good question. I think a lot of it is money. And
Ty Jerome's going to make more.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see him be another Cavalier. I know people are starting to...
It's that second apron everybody's talking about, Nick. Nobody knew anything about it last year. This year, it's the biggest thing in Cleveland.
Yeah. Second apron and Shedeur Sanders, the two most used phrase in Cleveland sports right now.
All right, guys. What do you expect out of the two rookies? The Cavs used their second-round picks in the draft this week. Duke guard Tyrese Proctor. We've got the Italian league guard Salou Niang.
Yeah, so the kid from the Senegal, we're never going to see. Draft and stash. I'd be surprised if that kid even finds his way into Cuyahoga County at any point. They say he's a guy similar to Isaac Okoro, black hole offensively, has no offensive bag at ever, just a good defender and a really raw athlete. So that's a project, but Tyrese Proctor, you bring that young man in from Duke on a multi-year deal as a second-round pick. That's something that you don't really see all the time. You usually see them go the Amani Bates route, where you're on a two-way contract. Amani Bates didn't get tendered as a result of this deal. So Tyrese Proctor going to have an opportunity to contribute for the Cavs in short order. Bigger guard, who's a decent enough shooter. I love the pick for the Cavs.
And I did too. the lingering question now for the Cavs is what are they going to do with those bigs, the guys down low? We've talked about it. They've tried marginally here through the draft, through trades to try and get a little bit tougher. I'll be interested now the rest of this offseason to see what they do at the center position and whether we get tougher down low.
We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We've got a great interview with one of our Cleveland Cavaliers coming right up. The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, and same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com today. Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. It's time for our Garage Beer featured interview. Garage Beer is the perfect beer for any occasion. It's small batch, no frills, no bitterness. It's just beer that tastes like beer. The garage is always open with Garage Beer. And we're super happy. We're joined by Max Strus, Cavaliers shooting guard. Thanks for joining us. I know you're coming off a little vacation. How was that?
It was great. Thanks for having me. But yeah, some time overseas was needed and was a good trip, but good to be back home.
And when you come back home, you've got big things ahead. We want to talk all about the youth camp you've got coming up and why your foundation means so much to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a couple camps coming up, one here in Chicago in the next couple weeks, and then doing a one-day camp in Cleveland, our first one in the Cleveland area. So super excited about that one coming up. And getting the foundation up and running this year has been a great success so far and something I've always dreamed of doing. And it's been nothing short of, meeting and exceeding all my expectations so far.
Yeah, not every athlete has the philanthropic bone, I guess. Why does it mean something to you to put all of this on?
I think it's just like the way I was raised. My mom worked in the YMCA my whole life, so kind of worked for a nonprofit and was around events like that my whole entire life and going to those and seeing my mom running those type of events and doing stuff in the community. I think it was just kind of what I grew up on and what I saw and now having the platform that I have and the ability to have the reach and to help, communities that I've lived in is something I've always wanted to do since I became a professional athlete.
Max, we got to ask, what's the coolest part of these camps for you?
Just seeing the kids. I think it's really cool walking around. I've only done the camps at my high school, so walking around every single year and seeing a kid that I recognized from the year before, or just seeing a kid who grew 3 inches from the last year and recognizing them. And then honestly, the coolest part is when I come and play the Bulls. Seeing kids in my camp shirts come to the game or walking down the street in the summer. Like I was at home eating in the suburbs the other day and some kid ran up to me with my camp shirt on. So just kind of leaving that positive environment and being in the community that I grew up in and that raised me. And to be able to have a professional athlete come from where we come from doesn't really happen. So for those kids to be able to, have the experience to be around me and learn from me and, just understand that the dream is possible and, try to give them a vision of that is all I can do. And just seeing the smile on the kids' faces every single day is what keeps bringing me back to do it every single year.
We've definitely got to talk a little Cavs with you as well. NBA draft just wrapped up. As an undrafted free agent yourself, what's some, advice that you would have for these young rookies that are going to be joining you guys in Independence coming up this season?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the draft doesn't really mean anything. It's about what you do after that. Obviously, I'm a good proponent of that, but it's about the work you put in. It's about showing up and the consistency that you dedicate to your craft and your willingness to, dive into the team. Every one of these players that's coming out of college or whether drafted or undrafted was probably the best or the second best player on their college team and was able to shoot every time they touched the ball. And, they're in for a rude awakening, but the people that can adjust and understand that there's roles to be had and roles to be played into is probably where, kids can make the biggest growth and then get some playing time. And then you just got to work and continue to put the work in. And, when the opportunities present itself, you got to be ready to take advantage of them.
Max, after this season, a lot of people were disappointed. I know you guys were probably disappointed about the way it finished up. Any thoughts when you think back on this season? How are you going to remember it?
Very disappointing. With all the success we had during the regular season, it was fun, but doesn't really mean anything. With the way we felt leaving that Indiana series and the way we felt ending the season, I think we all kind of have a sick, feeling in our stomach about it. And, I hope, as I'm doing, I hope everybody on our team is kind of using that as, fuel for this summer. And, the positive of it is the East is kind of open. So, there's a lot of ability to get right back to where we were and keep pushing through. And it's going to be a lot more rewarding when, you go through these tough times and these negative, parts of the season and ending your season like that. And, hopefully when we get back next year and make a longer run and a stronger push, it'll be more rewarding.
Max, I know the emotions were kind of high, obviously, towards the end of the season there, you mentioning the disappointment of it. But how have you taken some space? I know you've gotten a little vacation in. I know everybody's just taking that breathing room over the off season. But now, as you look ahead, how have you prepared or processed mentally and emotionally to rebound and bounce back stronger?
Yeah, I mean, it's all just coming back stronger, coming back and seeing which ways you could help the team and seeing which ways you can help, your teammates. I think that's kind of the biggest thing I've tried to be better at is being a leader in those, type of environments, whether that's reaching out to guys, staying in constant communication throughout the summer and, holding guys accountable to be ready for next year. So I'm doing my part. I'm in the gym. I'm trying to get better on things that I need to get better at. And, we've all been kind of communicating with each other and staying on each other that, next year it needs to be better. So I think we are in a good spot with everybody's attitudes and everybody's, mental fortitude on where they're at. And we're going to keep pushing and can't wait to keep going with these guys and this group of dudes.
Max, you've been one of the most consistent Cavaliers come playoff time. Talk to the fans out there what you guys have learned as a group about that 16-game season come playoffs and how that's a little bit different than the 82-game regular season.
It's a whole different grind. It's a test. It tests you in every single possible way, mentally, physically, emotionally. The playoffs are a grind, and each game brings a different set of situations and a way to overcome obstacles and adversity. And, we didn't do a good job of that last year. And that's something that, we're going to keep learning. This group has been young. I don't want to make excuses or keep relying on we're young, we get injured. I don't want to hear all that stuff. We've learned now it's been 2 years in a row that we've lost in the second round. And, that feeling doesn't get any better. So I hope we're all dedicated to pushing forward and looking to be better next year. And losing like that can only push those things farther.
Max, you had mentioned leadership and you kind of emerging as one of those leaders. I wanted to ask you about game 2, the inbounds play. Donovan Mitchell took blame, saying that he should have gotten open for you to be able to cleanly get that ball inbounded to him. What's that say about you guys as a group that you've got guys like Donovan, yourself, willing to consistently put your hand up, take the blame for just a play that was probably just broken down?
Yeah, I mean, that's the playoffs. Stuff happens. People make mistakes. Don could take the blame. I could take the blame. Kenny could take the blame. Anybody could take the blame. And I think we are all willing to do that. But again, that's another moment that we're going to learn from and be better from. And, hopefully we're in that same position next year and we change it around and get the ball inbounded.
How about facing the Heat, Max, your old team? You guys swept. How good did it feel to get out there and have a strong performance?
Felt great. Sweeping those guys was pretty cool, to be honest with you. Felt good. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for those guys in that locker room and that staff and everything they've done for my career there in Miami. So obviously no hard feelings, but it felt good to win that series and move on. And we did what we were supposed to do.
You also had a new voice at coach this year with Kenny Atkinson. Talk about that development, what he was like as a new coach coming in, and what you thought about what he basically had put out there on the floor for you.
Kenny was great. He was kind of walking into a great situation from what we already had lined up. Our team was kind of set in stone from the year before. We were all comfortable with each other. We were all have played, multiple games with each other. So he kind of walked into a perfect storm and he didn't try to do too much. He kind of just made it simple, helped us offensively with our execution and spacing and whatnot. And we kind of just took it from the wheel like that. When you have great players like Donovan and Darius and Evan and Jarrett, I mean, him just allowing us to get the spots and showing us proper spacing and how to play kind of just pushed us over the edge a little bit offensively. And then obviously with those two bigs behind us defensively, we're always going to be pretty good on that end.
Max, I know Tweaker by LiAngelo Ball was something that you guys had in rotation in the locker room after wins last year. What was your reaction when you saw the Lonzo Ball news come across this past weekend?
Yeah, kind of stunned by it, but I mean, losing Isaac is going to hurt. Isaac was great for us. Isaac's a really good dude and a very likable guy in our locker room. That's the thing about our locker room is we all, enjoy being around each other. It's a lot of good dudes, a lot of great guys that show up and work hard. And, losing Isaac is going to hurt, but that's the name of the game in the NBA. And we decided to make a trade. And, bringing Lonzo in, I think, is going to be huge. Just a pass first point guard, a guy that can shoot the ball, has been around for a little bit. And from everything I've heard, he's another great guy in the locker room. So looking forward to adding him and, getting him with this group.
Speaking of great guys in the locker room, Sam Merrill just got a big payday. Have you talked to him since he signed his new deal?
Oh, of course. Very happy for Sam. Very well deserved. Sam's one of, if not the hardest worker on our team. Consistently shows up every single day, good days, bad days. He's in the gym working, and truly a guy that deserves every single one of those dollars. So couldn't be more happy for Sam Merrill.
He's taking you guys out to dinner though now, right?
Oh, he's paying for sure. I've paid for plenty of his meals. So yeah, it's time for him to, return the favor.
Hey, Max, we appreciate the time. Continue to grind and enjoy your off season. We're looking forward to the Cavs season ahead. And just maybe last thing to plug your camps one more time for people looking to get involved.
Yeah. So we're doing a one-day camp again in Cleveland. I think the coolest part about it is that it's at the Cavs practice facility in Independence. So it's a one-day camp. We have the third through fifth graders from 9 to 11, and then 6 to 8th from 12 to 2. So it's a 2-hour camp. Come show up. You get to be in the Cavs practice facility. We'll do tours. You get to see the whole building, and you get to be around me. I'm sure a couple coaches will be there, and hopefully some other players. So couldn't be a more great experience if you're in the Cleveland area, and look forward to seeing the campers there.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you. Thanks for what you're doing in the community, and we'll see you there.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Max.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland right after this. The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
It's time for our favorite segment, Bringing the Heat on the Big Play Cleveland Show, presented by our friends at Northeast Factory Direct. Whether you're remodeling your kitchen, updating your furniture, freshening up your patio, or looking for a brand new mattress, Northeast Factory Direct is the place for you. There's no fancy showrooms. There's no pushy salespeople. It's just high quality items at an unbelievable price. And it gets even better for our listeners. Just click the link on our social media posts when you're looking for some new furniture. Fill out what you're looking for, and we'll hook you up with a Big Play discount. You could also visit them in store. Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, North Canton. Check them out online, northeastfactorydirect.com. When you're shopping in store, ask for that Big Play bonus. They will get you a special hookup. All right, we're going to postpone some guards talk. Jensen, things have been a little bit depressing. Jensen, your thoughts on the Lonzo Ball to Cleveland trade?
Great to be with you guys as always. And I guess getting Lonzo Ball means we may have to say bye to Ty Jerome. So, hey, bottom line, and I think we talked about it last week or so, guys, really the topography of the Eastern Conference pretty wide open, right? You appreciate where the Cavs installed as the betting favorite right now, very early this offseason to win the Eastern Conference, right next to the New York Knicks. I think we said we're kind of waiting to see what happens with the whole Giannis sweepstakes. Orlando makes the big move with Desmond Bane. What do we get with Indiana if they re-sign Miles Turner, probably without Tyrese Halliburton? I mean, so many different tectonic plates. I think the Detroit Pistons with Cade Cunningham are going to be really, really good. Take another step forward here. So the East is wide open, but hopefully we just keep letting them know. And Lonzo Ball, the latest in the fold.
Love that answer. All right, now time to get a little bit depressing. Jensen, you ever been a part of a players only meeting? And if so, what goes on in those?
Honestly, Nick, I was 3 weeks into my rookie year. And if you ever want to have the fear of God in you and you have no idea, what to expect, that's the one. And if you guys remember, this was in Texas in 2007 when Cliff Lee, for whatever reason, threw at Sammy Sosa. And if you guys go back and see if the YouTubers are out there, there's probably a video of where our visiting dugout just emptied into the tunnel because Victor Martinez, our catcher, and Cliff were almost coming to blows with each other. And guys, we weren't playing well at that point. I mean, again, I'm 3 weeks up my big league debut and just getting to feel being a big leaguer day in and day out. Casey Blake brought us all together. We had a lot of veterans on that team, and it was kind of the airing of grievances there. Just get it out. What does everyone have problems with? Because we're way too talented within this room not to, play better and be able to win series. And ironically, after that, we went on a huge run. If you guys remember, we ran down the Detroit Tigers and winning the American League Central Division title that year. So it worked for us. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it works this year for these guys because, boy, it's been tough sledding so far.
Yeah, do you think any of that could backfire depending on who you've got in the clubhouse? I would imagine we've got a great clubhouse for a players-only meeting.
Gab, it's a unique blend, right? You just don't do them just to say, hey, we brought everyone together. You really have to be close to a rock bottom scenario. And not to say that this club is anywhere near that, but you would think, and Austin Hedges is able to get up in front of everyone and, some of the other guys that have been around, and of course, Jose, being the leader of this team. And you kind of want everyone to feel like they're a piece of the puzzle. Like if there are younger guys who are seeing things, you want them to have a bit of a voice, but also you lean on the guys that have been there, done that. So I would hope that everything that transpired stays in house because that's what it's about. It's about the players, not about the leaks and finding out what was said. No, what was said is meant to be in there, and it's meant to be for the betterment of every single guy on that roster.
So we see players only meetings. We got Chris Antonetti going on the broadcast. Has this team hit the panic button at this point?
I don't know if it's panic. I think we've been pretty honest, guys, week in and week out, of saying this is a very offensively challenged team. They've weathered a bit of the storm now in the rotation. And, you would think the way that those guys are throwing the ball, it's given the club, every chance to win outside of a couple of hiccups. Back into the bullpen with Clase and Cade Smith, Hunter Gaddis has fallen on some tough times here the last couple of weeks. It's been a very inconsistent year in some respects, but overall, I think you expect that with as historic a year as the entire bullpen unit had last year. We've said it the last few weeks, guys, and nothing's changed. The offense has to get better. And if it doesn't, then you're in a real world of hurt here, just knowing the teams you're going to face. You go to Wrigley to face the Cubs. Then you come home real quick and finally face the Tigers. Then you got to go back on the road and play Houston in their ballpark where this team routinely has struggled. So the next 7 to 10 days are going to be very, very imperative for the direction of this club, not only short term, but also into the All-Star break.
Jensen, you had mentioned rock bottom and that this team isn't anywhere close to that yet, but there are a lot of fans online that have kind of given up on the season, talking about waving the white flag. Just how close is this thing, in your estimation, to going completely off the rails?
Well, I mean, you would have to you'd have to lose significantly for the next couple of weeks, and the reason I say that is because as you begin play this week, I think there's about 6 or 7 teams within 3.5, 4 games of a wild card spot, and by no means can you wave the white flag. There is absolutely every room available for frustration, and there should be. The onus is on this front office too. The coaching staff, you've seen some hiccups now with Stephen Vogt. There's been some managerial decisions that have been perplexing to say the least. And again, I've said too, he hasn't been able to play with really a full deck offensively when you're as challenged as you are from the get-go. So it's a way different lineup when you can't pencil in a Josh Naylor. It's a way different defense when you don't have an Andres Jimenez up the middle. And now, unfortunately, with the issues and the injury to Gabriel Arias, I mean, guys, you continue to see the attrition here from the position player side. So they may be forced into a corner, say, we just need healthy bodies, let alone guys that can contribute. So they need to finish the first half respectably. And by that, I mean, you have to at least win 2 of the next 4 series. And as I said, that's a very tall task, knowing where you have to go to try and win those series as well.
Last Thursday with the Blue Jays, they threw at Jose Ramirez. He's got a bruised forearm now. He's been 0 for 8 since that time. What are your thoughts on that scene?
Yeah, and guys, I can understand from the Toronto side why they did it. They felt that Vladdy, their best player, was kind of getting hunted, if you will. Kevin Gosman, just from an objective standpoint, guys, if you're going to retaliate, you must do it in the first pitch, and you must do it when you pick out the other team's best player. So from the outside looking in, I'm not surprised what transpired did. That being said, it should have lit a fire under this team. I haven't seen that yet, and that's disappointing. And hopefully it will light them up here at some point, because you want to come out of the corner swinging. Then your best guy gets hunted down a little bit the way that Jose did. There should have been absolute fury from the dugout. Didn't see it whatsoever, and it'll be a test for this club moving forward, no doubt about it.
Alrighty, we've yet to use this as the Northeast Factory direct question of the week. We ask it every week, but it's yet to be the direct question of the week, so here it goes. Hashtag the promotion, trending all over social media. When can we expect Chase DeLauder or CJ Kafis to get up here, man?
I hope if it's not before the All-Star break, and I don't see any signs of which that'll happen, guys, maybe it's shortly after that, or maybe we get to the trade deadline and some moves necessitate that. But you ask the players to prove that they are ready for the next level. You ask position players in particular to show that they can handle hitting against righties and lefties and do what they need to do to be elite defensively. From an offensive standpoint, what else do you need from Chase DeLauder, guys? It's been head scratching to say the least. There is not a guy right up here, outside of Stephen Kwan, that would keep a Chase DeLauder from getting everyday at bats. So it's been overdue, and hopefully the right move is made here sooner than later.
Man, thanks a bunch to Jensen Lewis. Go follow him at JLew50. Got some Wimbledon coming up this week on By the Books. Huge thanks to our friends at Northeast Factory Direct as well. Check them out. Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, North Canton. Make sure to ask for that extra special Big Play bonus. We'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland right after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Infinity. Luxury experiences for those who dare to be different. Visit infinityofbeechwood.com today.
Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. It's time for our fill in the blank segment brought to you by our friends at Pure AV, which Pure AV, if you didn't know, they specialize in sales, service, and installation of a variety of smart home technologies. They can help you set up the perfect sports watching setup with their high performance audio and video displays. They truly do it all. So if you're unhappy with your current setup, Pure AV will even come in and fix their competitors' work just to make sure your setup is exactly how you envisioned. And if you're worried about keeping a clean interior, they offer hidden audio and video options that allow you to keep that elegant look without sacrificing your favorite technology. Pure AV can set you up with invisible architectural speakers that are hidden in your walls and ceilings, as well as disappearing TVs that vanish behind art or mirrors. You can visit pureavcorp.com to see everything that they can offer for you and your home. All right, gang, fill in the blank is upon us. Dan Gilbert selling 15% of the Cavs is.
He's looking for cash there, and after looking at what the Lakers did, getting $10 billion for the Lakers, he's got to be like, I want a piece of that. He's worth $26 billion, so either way, it's not going to hurt him much, but this is a good way for him to free up some cash. Some are saying, Nick, to buy the Guardians. Are you buying that?
I'm not buying that at all. I would like to. Dan Gilbert is the best owner that we've got here in Cleveland. So I think when everybody saw that he was, selling 15% of the team, there was a little bit of a shock. But you throw those numbers out there, Chris. I mean, in 2005, Dan Gilbert bought the Cavs for $375 million. Selling 15% of the team, he's probably going to make $375 million just for 15% of the organization. So it's a genius business move. Some people are saying that it's to buy the Guardians. I don't think that's true. Maybe he sells it to the kid from Akron to become a player owner and return to our Cavaliers. I don't know if that's happening either, but it's fun to dream.
How about the Guardians not clearing the benches after Jose got hit in the Toronto series?
Soft.
That's soft. That's sad.
Guardians reflect the Cavs a little bit. I hate to make that comparison, but the Guardians look like a team that's uninspired. They don't care. The difference is Cavs were a good regular season team. Guardians pretty, at this point below average. Seriously, regular season baseball team. It was soft and it was disappointing. This team has no fire. There's no reason to watch. They're boring night in, night out. The one opportunity that they had to enlist a little bit of passion, a little bit of fire into this ball club when Jose got hit, start a fight, cause something to happen to get these guys to spark. The opportunity was there and they didn't seize it.
The sad part is the Guardians themselves seem more apathetic than the fans. The fans are really fired up. They're pretty pissed off about what this team has done, going from the ALCS last year to what we're watching on a day in, day out basis this year. The team, though, they don't seem to care. They don't seem to be going out there and playing with any kind of fire. Meanwhile, you go on social media and all of the fans have got that thing lit on fire, debating the guys who need to come up, moves we need to make, but the organization doesn't seem to care right now.
Well, the Guardians season is halfway over. I would grade the first half of the season in a blank letter grade.
I always go pass fail on these things, and this is a fail. You went to the ALCS last year. This year, you roll out with basically the same thing minus a couple of players, and you expect something to come out better, and it just didn't happen. Last year, we did it basically. We talked about it a lot. That I-71, bringing up young guys, having them perform. This year, it has not happened at all, and we are kind of where we expected to be when you don't make off-season moves, Nick.
Yeah, I'm going to give it an F. Flat out. You're failing. You were 3 wins away from the World Series, and we're sitting here early July, still under 500. I mean, this isn't just a slow start. This is a complete letdown, and it has been a really disappointing start to the season for our Guards.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Big Play Cleveland right after this. The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Pure AV, luxury home automation. Experience your dream smart home by visiting pureavcorp.com.
Welcome on back into the Big Play Cleveland Show. It is time for our weekly chat with Ty Dillon. Ty is a NASCAR Cup driver for the number 10 Colleague Racing Chevy. Ty races for Northeast Ohio NASCAR team owner Matt Colleague, who fields 3 teams in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, 2 teams in the NASCAR Cup Series. And let's clap Ty into the segment this week, coming off of the best finish of the season, knocking out Denny Hamlin along the way in Atlanta. Ty, what are the emotions like? Because I know that this has been something that's been in the works for a while. You guys have been improving every week, and to do it in such a splashy fashion has to feel so cool.
No, absolutely. Past 48 hours been pretty fun. Obviously, running good feels really nice, and then just having fun with the in-season challenge that NASCAR is doing. We were the 32 seed. I'm a huge sports fan, so to be the underdog that knocks the number 1 seed out, that's one of those lifetime dreams that you want to be a part of. And so that was fun, man, and had some fun with the interview afterwards. But yeah, I mean, our team has ran good, and we've sat here and talked about it week in, week out. Just we've had little things that just haven't gotten us the results we deserve. So to fully through and through the race, I don't think we were ever outside the top 15, hardly the whole race. Ended up getting stage points in the second stage, finishing 6th there and 8th overall. We were super pumped as a team. It was the momentum we need, and going into Chicago, I think we're excited to hopefully go knock somebody else out.
So to be a 32 seeds, knocking off a 1 seed, what's that like pre-race? What's the mindset like knowing that in order to win this thing, it's going to have to be a huge upset going into the car before the race? What's the mindset like knowing that you're such a huge underdog in this thing?
Yeah, I think, you just look at the opportunity, right? We've been really good at the super speedway style tracks this year. We were running 7th or 5th at Talladega and ran out of gas and probably didn't get the finish we deserved there. And opportunity knocks. I was watching the race Sunday morning from the previous year and saw that Denny didn't really have a solid race there, but it's hard to bet against that guy. He's probably going to end up being one of the betting favorites to win the championship, I'd say, by the end of the year. He's just a solid championship contender. So you know what you're getting up against. It's going to be a fight, but I believed in our chances. Even straight up, we were beating him before the crash, and I think that obviously helped our chances of beating. But I would like to see how it played out if he would have survived. I think we would have given him a hard time for it. So yeah, we were determined to run our own race and beat him, and ended up doing so. And I was, from the moment I saw we had Denny as our head-to-head match, I was kind of sitting on that quote, just waiting, hoping for the opportunity, and had to hit Mamba Smith in the interview with, "Hey man, I got one more thing to say." So that was a lot of fun, and that's gone quite viral. So I'm just having fun with it. I got to give it to Denny because without him leaning into the fans, I think he just understands the sport globally and sees that we're entertainers, and not a lot of us drivers or really see the sport that it's easy to get so focused and hyper focused on just your performance, and that's all that matters in the world. But we are an entertainment sport, and I wanted to have fun with the fans too, and that's what we're here to do. And that was a good moment where things came around for us.
I want to ask you about what that reaction's been like. Obviously, the clip is everywhere where you call him out. I beat your favorite driver. What's the reaction from your fans and his fans alike been like to that clip?
It's been fun. I think I've gained a lot of fans from that, which is cool. You know, I even texted him and was like, hey, man, having fun with your fans. And he loved it. You know, he gets it. We got to have more of that in our sport, just more spirit of entertainment and fun. He's done a good job of that with Denny versus the World that he's kind of put on the last couple of years. And I wanted to play into that. You know, our team deserves the attention. We work hard. And when we knock somebody out like that, we want to beat our chest a little bit. So that was fun. And yeah, it's been quite the viral moment. It's been millions of views of that, and hopefully we'll have another chance to do something like that again against Keselowski this weekend.
Yeah, well, Ty, I know you're a sports fan, so 32 upsetting a 1 is a lot of fun, but then you know that you've got another upset brewing set to face number 16 seed Brad Keselowski this week, Chicago Street Course, to win a smooth $1 million. Talk to us about the mindset to try to carry that momentum in this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Chicago is just as a gamble as Atlanta. You know, the last 2 times we've yet to race there and it hasn't rained. I really love racing in the rain. So even if the weather turns a little sour for the fans, I'm looking forward to that. But we were running good in Mexico City, even in the dry. We were running top 10. We have a third car for College Racing this weekend with Will Brown, who races in the Australian V8 Supercars. I'm actually on my way. That's why I'm in the car right now. We're going to our simulator at GM, and I'm going to run laps with him there and see what I can learn. I know he's going to be up to speed. He's going to be really competitive. So we're going to put our best foot forward, put the pressure on Brad, and go out and hopefully knock another lower seed out and continue this momentum. And we make it past this round, that $1 million gets real close, and we'll do anything to get that.
I love to hear it. Well, Ty, will let you lock in on that simulator. Thanks so much for joining us on the Big Play Cleveland Show, celebrating your victory here with us on a Monday. Make sure to go follow him on social media at Ty Dillon. Follow Colleague Racing as well at Colleague Racing. We'll be back with Ty Dillon next week. More Big Play Cleveland right after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows, energy-efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
Welcome back to the Big Play Cleveland Show. This segment presented by our friends at Smart Choice Windows. Smart Choice is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows and Smart Choice Baths. Have you been thinking about upgrading your home this spring? Then look no further than Smart Choice Windows and Smart Choice Bath. Smart Choice Windows is running a great deal right now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. They're also offering 0% financing for 24 months, or if you prefer, they also have a no down payment option with monthly payments as low as $199. Some restrictions will apply there. If your bathroom needs an update, the same great team at Smart Choice Baths will hook you up. Right now, they're offering $1,500 off a brand new shower or tub this month. So if you've been putting off that remodel, now is the perfect time to go for it. If you're ready for quieter, more energy-efficient windows or a bathroom that suits your lifestyle and finally works, make the call, dial 440-WIN-DOZE, or head over to smartchoicewindows.com and smartchoicebaths.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate today. All right, gang, how about a little, what is the smart choice in this scenario? I don't know how we would say this game, but give us the smart choice. Fans around the MLB are already complaining about top players not getting voted into the final phase of All-Star voting. The smart choice would be to...
I think go to more of an NBA model where you take percentages versus fan vote versus the managers and all that. But I'll tell you what, on a more local level, I'm more upset about the fact we had 5 All-Stars last year, and we only have 1 this year, Nick, and that's earned. That's not that we're getting screwed or anything else. It's just that we have 1 All-Star right now, and that's Jose, and that's it. And that's very disheartening for me.
Usually I would love to rip the MLB, rip the All-Star voting system. How do you leave these guys out of the game? I can't get mad at any of this. The Guardians have 1 All-Star. It's Jose Ramirez. He's the reason why you show up to the ball yard every night. Other than that, I don't know. So I'm with you, Chris. That's mostly what I'm upset about as well.
A big letdown, considering we advocated so long for certain players on our team to finally get the spotlight, and now all of a sudden it feels like it's ripped right away. But to your point, deservedly so. We're just not having the same season with the same types of production that we did last year. How about LeBron James using his player option to stay with LA for $52.6 million next season? The smart choice for LeBron would be too.
LeBron conspiracy theorist? Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, this one's for Nick.
Come on back. I find it fascinating that he picks that option up, and Rich Paul in that same breaking news article was like, "Hey, I'll gladly take the $52.6 million, but you all suck. The Lakers are horrible. You can't be preparing for the future while trying to win a championship at the same time." LeBron wants to win a ring this year, and there's a clear path to do so in the Eastern Conference with our Cleveland Cavaliers. So they'd have to do a little bit of cap space gymnastics, but boy, would it be fun to have LeBron back in season number 23 during the 10-year anniversary of the 2016 NBA championship to finish the job, finish the storybook with our Cavs. Is a fun conspiracy to have.
Here's an interesting one. We're going to go NFL on this one. Saints defensive end Cam Jordan said that the NFL needs to bring back taunting. They're back in the day, the old taunting rules allowed for some more things without penalty. So the smart choice would be too.
Kadarius Toney here, right? Last year got called for taunting, also muffed a punt, also shouldn't have been on the team. I would like to see taunting. I would like it out of guys other than Kadarius Toney, actual talented guys on the field. But I think it adds to the fun of the game, and anything that adds to the intrigue, I'm all for.
Bring it back. The one thing that the naysayers could have on this is, oh, you don't want your kids taunting in youth sports.
Yes, I do. I want my kids. I got 3 kids. Go ahead,
If
taunt.
my kid winds up in the
doing it.
National Football League, for those people that don't want taunting, go Google what Cam Jordan's career earnings are. And if my kid makes that someday, taunt all you want.
I feel like we got to drop the mic on that note. Thanks for watching the Big Play Cleveland Show. We'll be back next week.